Hello, listeners. Hope you're all doing well. Another lovely day to have a talk and another portions of words awaiting us to squeeze the meaning of them. So before we go any further, I'd like to say about an exciting question. How far we can go when we use words from our non-native language. It's depend of your word supply, type and amount. Generally, we target the ability of using appropriate words that really match into certain situation. Moreover, talking about narrow topics and using expressions of complex ideas are final purpose, I believe. And I think it is a really kind of a freedom. Words come to you quite easily when you need them, and you don't have to look for words as often as most people do. So, in this episode, we will challenge ourselves observing new list of words with detailed guidelines or information in it. We will talk about communication, or actually what parts of your body help us provide it. Yes, it's about voice and hand. And as you see now, we still continue talking about our body parts. We have two groups as usual. It's our two divisions. So first is about using a voice, and second is using a hand. Honestly, I found this compilation quite essential, and I'm eager to share with you guys. So let's start talking about our voice. And the following words are confusing. We tend to think they are similar and practically use them. In a way, they contain tiny differences, and we should to identify first, and please listen carefully. The words are say, talk, tell, and speak. Actually very important and very frequent words. So what's the difference between them? So say is to speak words. When someone said to you something, but you didn't understand, and you can say, I'm sorry, what did you say? So in this case, you're asking him or her to repeat the words he or she said. So say it's to speak words. The second is talk. Talk, it's about the things. When you say something to someone. For example, someone came to you and asked you, could I talk to you about my personal problem? So he did a request that he wanted to talk to you about his own problem. That's why he used, could I talk? Could I talk to you? So the next word is tell. Tell is to say something to someone, usually giving them information. For example, you are abroad and you don't know how to get the library, so you did ask, could you tell me how to get to the library? So used tell. You asked someone to give you the information. The last word is speak. Speak is it's the easiest word from this group because it's used a lot. And actually, to speak is mostly it's having a conversation with someone. And also we can say to say words, to use voice, but mostly it's having conversation with someone. For example, after our interesting conversation, I realized he speaks fluent English. So that was about a conversation. That's why we can see the word speak He speaks fluent English. So how many words we covered? 4. The fifth word is a chat. Chat is to talk with someone in a friendly and informal way. Also, you can chat in social media. And the last word is announce. Announce is to tell people about something officially or with force or confidence. And how about unpleasant form of voice using? We can find the word scream, shout, cry, and actually they also quite similar. But anyway, we can identify the differences between them as well. So scream, when you see the horror movies, you can make a loud, high noise with your voice because you are afraid, or sometimes because you are hurt or angry. In this case, you can scream. It's a loud, high voice. So the difference from the scream, the word shout is not just a screaming, but shout is saying something very loudly. You can hear people are arguing, they are shouting each other, they are trying to prove they are right by saying something very loudly. It's actually not an effective way. If you are quite right, you don't have to say that very loudly. And the next word is cry. Cry is, of course, it's very easy. It's just to produce tears from your eyes, maybe because you are sad, angry, or maybe happy. Yeah. And the last word is also interesting. Is stutter. Stutter. When you repeat the first sound of a word several times when you talk, it's about speech problem. And the interesting fact about this, and we call it PWS, the people who stutter. So people who stutter, they are normally fluent when they speaking in unison or whispering or singing. And that's quite interesting. And the last part of this voice using, it's singing, whispering, laughing, and cheering. To sing, and you use your voice to make musical sounds. Yeah, maybe you imitate. You're a fan of someone, a fan of some groups, so you want to sing their songs, so you make musical sounds by your voice. And whisper, it's when you speak, maybe when you sing extremely quiet, so that other people cannot hear. That sometimes criminals speak to each other in front of the police without being understood. So also voice does work in a joy. When you laugh, but not love, but laugh. Laugh is to smile while making sound with your voice that other people can understand that you are happy or think that something is very funny. And actually, if you laugh a lot, you can prolong your life expectancy. That's actually very good. And the last word is cheer, is to shout loudly in order to show your approval or to encourage someone, especially when you satisfied with someone's performance, for example. But in this note, we going to finish the words, the talking about words related with using your voice, and now it's time to talk about using your hands.